How you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? So let's have a live stream, man. Let's have a conversation. Cops can't be trusted around women and children. Anybody who doesn't agree with that, please come on and prove me wrong. Cops cannot be trusted around women and children. You think I'm wrong, then prove. You think I'm wrong, then come on and prove me wrong. Cops cannot be trusted around women and children. I'm going to say that one more time. Police officers in the United States cannot be trusted around women and children. If anyone doesn't agree, please come on and prove me wrong. Prove to me that I'm not saying something that is absolutely true. I'm going to prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt that police officers are often rapists, pedos. They often touch on women and children, and everyone knows it. I'm a law enforcement whistleblower, and everyone knows it. I'm a law enforcement whistleblower. People should know that I have plenty of experience with this. I've been trying to get people to look into this, to look at this and realize what the problem is. But for some reason, Americans don't seem to realize that cops are oftentimes the very people you should not trust around women and children. The very people you should not trust around your wife. The very people you should not trust. The very people you should not trust around your wife. The very people you should not trust around a freaking daycare. I'm telling you, one of the reasons why those kids, those little rape kids don't get tested, it's because of cops. Because if they actually tested them, do you know how often a cop will be arrested? If they actually tested those kids, do you know how often a cop will be arrested? It'd be pretty often. Do you know how often cops get away with messing with little children? Do you know how often that happens? I want somebody to come on and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that the average cop, from what I'm seeing, I mean, based on all things that I've been seeing, is not a pedo. At this point, I'm convinced that most cops are either like that or they're okay with it. If you think I'm wrong, come on and prove me wrong. Please. I will give you first word and last word. But when I'm talking, oh yes, you will listen. And when you come on, turn on that camera. No. Don't be hiding behind no troll spaces. If you're trolling my comment section, bring it behind up. The average cop is okay with other cops messing with little children. The average cop will cover for another cop if they mess with a woman doing a freaking traffic stop. There's a whole system that protects predators with a badge. There's a whole system. It's been going on for the longest time in this country, right? It's been going on for the longest time in this country, and people have been ignoring it. I'm a law enforcement whistleblower. I'm telling you, it is common. It happens all the time, whether you realize it or not. It is a persistent problem in this country. Did you know that less than 40%, almost 40% of cops who are charged with crimes like being a pedo, being a rapist, do you realize a lot of them don't even go to freaking jail? Did you know that? Did you know that judges oftentimes give cops who mess with little children probation? I cover it on my channel all the time. Just look at my channel. I mean, it is so common. It is so bad to the point where I have different playlists like Southeast, Northeast, West Coast, Midwest, and most of those videos are cops who are pedos. Cops who rape women. Or even little boys. Oh, you don't believe that? Hold on, wait. You see, I love my channel. You want to know why I love my channel? Because I could so easily go and look up all the content that I've been making. So, you have, just today, you had a former sheriff's deputy. I want you to watch these videos as I'm talking about it, right? Because I want y'all to see how often I talk about this stuff and people just don't want to just actually admit to it. This guy here, This guy here, he got 90 years in prison because he was messing with with little children. This man got 90 years. He's a cop from freaking Ohio. He got 90 years, right? I just covered that just today. You got this guy, a Boston police sergeant, right? He was preying on teenage boys. On teenage boys. On boys. Do you have any idea how often this happens? That was just today. Another one here in Florida, Martin County Sheriff's Deputy Keenan Ural. This guy thought he was chatting with a 14-year-old girl, right? He thought that he was chatting with a 14-year-old girl. Turns out it was an undercover deputy, right? Undercover deputy. Let's go back. I just covered that today. A judge just denied bond for a former police officer who was preying on 14-year-old girls. Do you know why? He went to a baseball game. This guy was a police officer in Alabama. He was told to stay in freaking Alabama. That was a part of his actual bond agreement. He got bond somehow. How do you get bond when you touch on 14-year-old girls? But he got bond. And he violated that freaking bond. So the judge revoked his bond. Now he's back in jail. He should have never left jail. That was on freaking today. Another one, a Border Patrol officer. Border Patrol. This guy, he was trying to prey on a 14-year-old girl. He was also a freaking scout leader. He wasn't just a freaking cop. He was a scout leader. A scout leader. Yeah. Color me shocked. Color me surprised. Here we go. Another one. This guy, he's a 22-year veteran of the San Jose Police Department, right? Do you know why he got arrested? He was out here preying on teenage girls. On teen sisters, both of the sisters. So could you imagine this police officer from San Jose, this guy, again, I want y'all to see this, man. I want y'all to see his face. I want y'all to see his face. This guy. 14-year-old girls are not safe because police officers, his name is Saul Duran. Saul Duran from the San Jose Police Department, 22-year veteran. He met these teen girls through a program that was for parents with troubled youth. Well, guess what, sir? You just caused more troubled youth by molesting them. Wow. Just wow, man. Just wow. That was on today. Here. This is from this morning. Just this morning. This guy from New York, a police officer, this man has multiple felony charges, including messing with little girls. He's a cop. Look at this. The indictment accused Mills of engaging in both oral and 14 and 15-year-old girls. These are cops, y'all. This shit happens all the time. You think I'm just making this up? Hold on. Let me show you another one. This guy from Arkansas, he was on TikTok. This cop was on TikTok stalking a 14-year-old girl. This man was on TikTok. This cop was on TikTok stalking a little girl, a 14-year-old girl. And so when the cops found out, they took over the girl's social media accounts and they pretended to be that little girl and they caught him, y'all. They caught him. Wow. Unbelievable. But look, this is happening in your country. This is very, very common. It happens all the time, y'all. I want y'all to see how common this is. Yo, I want you to see this, right? This former Indiana police officer arrested by the Indiana State Police because they say this 54-year-old man, 54 years old, was preying on children while he was an Indiana police officer. Yo, I'm sorry that my hand is shaking. I am a survivor, y'all. I do this to prevent this stuff. It hurts me too to see this stuff. David McDaniel, 54 years old. 54 years old, and he was preying on children. And there were reports from years ago where people knew he was doing this and nobody did anything. No one did anything, y'all. They knew this man was doing this and they did nothing. They did nothing. Hold on. A retired police captain and school resource officer. This guy had child porn. He comes out of Pennsylvania. Look at this. Look at this. How many little children do you think he was messing with, y'all? How many? How many? I'm hearing Deontay Cal talking about how black men need accountability, yet this is going on. Don't talk to me about accountability when white officers are doing this. No. Because it's not going to matter how accountable we are if they're doing this. Y'all, this was a police captain and a school resource officer who was doing this. He had child porn. Yo, this is a female officer, Carly Miranda Blum. She's 51 years old. This girl went after a 17-year-old girl. She recorded it. All the activities, she recorded it. And then when the girl wanted to go tell on her, she threatened to shoot her. Yo, even the female officers are doing this shit now. Are y'all seeing this? Are you seeing this? That's crazy. That's crazy. The great one, I want you to come up. Come on, wait up. And nope, you don't get to say anything else in my comment section until you come up. Because that's a very, very weird deflection. What about the YNs and disrespectful people in our community? And we're talking about these kinds of officers. I want you to come up. Don't say nothing else in my comment section. Don't say nothing else in my comment section until you come up. If not, be quiet for the rest of the freaking stream. Because I don't like keyboard warriors, especially over this. Especially over this. No, you will show your bravery or you will be quiet. Pick one. That's just a weird deflection. People who support cops they have the weirdest deflections, y'all. The weirdest deflections. The weirdest deflections. Oh my God. Look at this. This is from last month, right? Another sheriff's deputy. Another one. This is common. There's a whole epidemic with this. There's a whole epidemic with this. I want y'all to see, right? I want y'all to see how well known this is, right? I'm going to type in to serve and pursue. I want to show y'all a DOJ study about this from the Office of Justice Programs. The Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, to serve and pursue justice, Office of Justice Programs, to serve and pursue exploring police sexual violence against women, published in 1995, 27 pages. That's how common cops are predators. That's how common we're talking here. It's on the DOJ's goddamn website. I try to tell y'all, this is common, y'all. This is common. Cops are often predators who prey on women. It's on the DOJ's website, Office of Justice Programs, to serve and pursue, exploring police sexual violence against women, published in 1995. They've known this. They've known this for 30 years. If that was published in 1995, that was from 30 years ago. It's 2025. And in this study, if you read it, right, they pulled data from 1972 all the way up until 1992. So it was decades of research, and they still found that cops are goddamn rapists. It's that common. I want y'all to see something. Listen, I want y'all to see something real quick. It's gonna blow your mind, man. I want y'all to see something real quick. I want y'all to see something real quick. This is gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind, right? It's gonna blow your mind, man. I want y'all to see this. Okay, so this is from the Washington Post. Abused by the badge. This came out last year, right? This came out last year. And they're listing how often it is that cops do this stuff. And they're giving you pictures. They're telling you, right? So I want to read some things to you. So cases like this are not unique. The Post identified at least 1,800 state and local law enforcement officers who were charged with crimes involving child smack until 2022. Reporters spent more than a year under records and other documents to understand who these officers are, how they gain access, and other documents to understand who these officers are, how they gain access to children, and what it is and isn't being done to stop them. The Post also conducted an exclusive analysis of the nation's most comprehensive database of police arrests, right? This database, managed by Bowling Green State University, tracks new reports of arrests of law enforcement. Of the hundreds of thousands of sworn officers in the United States, only a small fraction are ever charged with crimes. I want y'all to read that again. Because again, that is not saying that a lot of them don't commit crimes. It's just saying that when they do commit crimes, they're very rarely charged. Okay? And not all, and what validates what I just said is the very, very next sentence. And not all arrests are reported in the news media. But from 2005 through 2022, Bowling Green State identified at least 17,700 state and local officers who were charged with crimes, including physical assault, drunken driving, and drug offenses. The Post found, I want y'all to see this quick. I want y'all to see this and share this video when y'all see this. The Washington Post found that 1 in 10 of those officers were charged with a crime involving child sexual abuse. 1 in 10 of 17,000 officers. Out of 17,000 officers, 1 in 10 is a child molester. 1 in 10. Do you understand how? And that's just the ones that they actually found. That's just the ones they found. Mind you, the study that I just showed you, this was published in 1995. The data that they pulled from was from 2005 until 2022, which lets you know that if this is on the Office of Justice Programs, the DOJ's own website, telling you that it was a problem back in 1995, and yet now we're seeing studies that are showing that it was a problem from 2005 until 2022. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane. Do y'all understand? Wait. Do you understand something, right? I want to plug in my phone. Cause, listen, so I want you to understand, right? The database is called Bowling Green State University. The person who runs that, his name is Philip Stinson, Professor Philip Stinson. He used to be a police detective. He's a whistleblower. And so now he just does research on police misconduct. I want to read to you this whole paragraph again. Right? This database, managed by Bowling Green State University, tracks news reports of arrests of law enforcement. Of the hundreds of thousands of sworn officers in the U.S., only a small fraction are ever charged with crimes. That is saying that even when they commit crimes, they are rarely charged. And not all arrests are reported in the news media. But from 2005 through 2022, Bowling Green identified 17,700 state and local officers who were charged with crimes, including physical assault, drunken driving, and drug offenses. The Washington Post found that 1 in 10 of those officers were charged with a crime involving child sexual abuse. 1 in 10 out of 17,700. And that was just from, hold on. And that was just from 2005 through 2022. I just showed you a study on the DOJ's Office of Justice Programs website. Another study from 1995, that was published in 1995, is called To Serve and Pursue Police Sexual Violence Against Women. They knew it was a problem 30 years ago. If that was 1995, it's 2025 right now. That was 30 years ago. And now look, they're pulling data from 2005 until 2022. My Lord. My Lord. And by the way, there's even more devastating information. There's even more devastating information. They have a whole collage of all the officers. Look, well, some of them. Look at these officers. These are all police officers who are child molesters or rapists. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. 99% of arrested officers were male. 47 of those officers arrested were the chief of police, the sheriffs, or other leaders of other leaders of that agency. So these were the people who were the sheriff, the police chief, who were pedophiles. 66% of arrested officers had more than 5 years of service. So these are not new officers. These are not new officers. These are veteran officers who've been on the force for at least 5 years. For at least 5 years. Nearly 40% of convicted officers were not sentenced to prison. So even when these officers were convicted of being a pedophile, having child porn, raping women, it didn't matter. Nearly 40% of them didn't go to jail. They got probation. They got house arrest. They didn't even go to damn jail. I want to say this to you again. Nearly 40% of convicted officers, of convicted police officers, right, who are pedophiles, were not sentenced to prison. They were given probation and house arrest. They were allowed to walk free, to be around your children, to be around your women, to be around your families, your neighbors, your little cousin, your daughter, your son. Nearly 40% of them never saw the inside of a prison cell, even if they touched on your son or your daughter or your wife or your auntie or your grandma. The courts let them walk free, and people have been gaslighting me, gaslighting you, telling you that I'm a liar, telling you that I'm making it up. I am a law enforcement whistleblower who's been trying to help you this whole time. I'm trying to keep you safe, and the only way I can keep you safe is by telling you the truth. What else can I do? How else can I fight this? Nearly 40% of officers who are pedophiles don't see the inside of a jail cell. They don't. They get to walk free among your children, among your wife. I want y'all to see how bad it is, how often cops prey on women, how often they text women. I want y'all to see something real quick. Driving while female. I want y'all to see this real quick. So I'm gonna type this into freaking Google. I want y'all to see this because I don't want y'all to think that I'm cheating, right? Driving while female, PSV, and PSV stands for police sexual violence, right? Right? I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this, man. This is unreal. 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 Right? The Google AI results even tell you what I was talking about. The term driving while female, PSV, likely refers to the experiences of women driving public service vehicles, PSVs, specifically in context of harassment and safety concerns. So I want you to see this, right? Because it's a very common thing that happens in this country. Here we go. So here we go. The Google AI results say it here. Driving while female in the context of police sexual violence refers to a specific scenario where law enforcement officers exploit their authority during traffic stops to perpetuate sexual violence against female drivers. This issue highlights a serious form of police misconduct and abuse of power. So there's actual studies. There's actual studies about this. From the NIH, the National Institutes of Health, right? Here we go. The National Library of Medicine. Situational context of police sexual violence, Dallas, the data and policy implications, right? I want to highlight this one paragraph here and I want to read it to you, right? The horrors of sexual crimes that are perpetuated by law enforcement officers are laid bare in the study of 669 cases of police sexual violence. Here, authors Philip Matthew Stinson, Robert W. Taylor, and John Lederbach identified 3 scenarios in which law enforcement officers inflict sexual violence upon their mostly female victims. 1, driving while female. 2, child predation. 3, involvement in the sex worker industry. Especially sobering is the fact that, as opposed to law enforcement doing its solemn duty to report criminality on the part of fellow officers, citizens rather than police initiated the detection of the crimes. In almost all the cases, whether the context involved child predation, 94.8%, driving while female, 94.7%, or sex worker industry, 90.8%. Rather than an anomaly, sexual predation on the part of police, along with the routine cover-ups that perpetuate these crimes, appears to be just one component of the rotten apple that depicts a culture of police corruption. Y'all, that's on the National Library of Medicine. That's how common cops are rapists and pedophiles. It's right there. It's right there. It's not even debatable. It's right there in front of your face. You can't even deny this. It's right there in front of your face. In fact, I want to make it a little bit bigger for you. Here we go. I want you to see this, right? So there's 3 scenarios in this study. 1, driving while female. Because cops are rapists so often that when they pull over women, they just can't help themselves. 2, child predation, preying on children. 3, going after sex workers. Yeah, very common. Very common. And that's why all my streams get flagged down. This is why my videos get flagged down. I just had a video flagged down where I was discussing all this stuff. Trying to warn people, trying to stand on the freaking truth. Because if I see something, I gotta say something. I have to say something. I gotta warn you. Right? That's all I can do. What else could I do? And every time I do that, what ends up happening? I get flagged down. People lying on me. People making up stuff. Do you know I'm a whistleblower? You know how much damage I've taken from showing people this stuff? I missed my own mother's funeral. They took out a warrant for my freaking arrest. They rescinded it, right? They took it back. But I missed my own mother's funeral. Because I had to leave the freaking state. Because I want to show you that. Why would I want to show you that? As a child, I was molested by an older brother who's a high school principal in South Carolina right now. His name is Dr. Carlos Grant. I told the Richland County Sheriff's Department as a kid. This is why I went into the military. This is why I went into corrections. I wanted to be a hero because nobody was a hero for me. That same sheriff, Sheriff Leon Lott, he covered for his sheriff's deputies who molested 4 high school girls, 4 black girls in South Carolina. You don't believe me? You don't believe that actually happened? Let me show you real quick. This is actually, it's cost the state of South Carolina $18 million, and it's all because of me. I want you to see this. So you remember how I just said that a sheriff covered for a high school principal who's my older brother who molested me as a kid? That's the same sheriff. Sheriff of the year, the 2021 Sheriff of the Year. He covered for this sheriff's deputy here who molested four black girls. They caught him at Richland Northeast High School. He was in relationships with high school girls. And so when the parents told him about this, they didn't arrest the sheriff's deputy. They moved him over to another high school, Spring Valley High School. Spring Valley High School. When he violated 2 more high school girls. And the only reason why it was found out because one of the girls' parents, worked for the school district. But there's actually been depositions. Let me show you. There's been actual depositions. There were allegations in 2010 and 2011. Here's a piece of a deposition here, right? They caught this man behind a Target parking lot with high school girls. And they did nothing. He was kissing them, right? I want you to see the freaking depositions. Here it is, Exhibit 7. There you go. This cost the state of South Carolina $18 million. It cost the state $18 million. In fact, I want you to hear something real quick. If you don't believe me, that this is a common thing, that this man's been doing this for 30 years, that I'm one of the childhood victims, and I've been trying to expose this for years and years and years. I'm gonna go to my own YouTube channel. And I want you to hear an interview from one of the mothers of one of the victims. In fact, we're gonna watch it right on TV. People just, people don't realize that law enforcement so often they will protect their own because, and this is also why you'll find that law enforcement, they don't test rape kits. One of the reasons why they don't test rape kits is because if you were to test all the rape kits, you have to arrest a lot of freaking cops because the cops realize that if they go to jail and it's found out that you're a cop and you did this, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. So I want you to see this because if I'm gonna plug this in, I'm gonna search my own video. I want you to see this, right? Because if you hear this, it's gonna change your whole perspective on freaking cops. It's gonna make you not trust cops. This man was the 2021 Sheriff of the Year. 2021 Sheriff of the Year. And that's what he did. So, let's listen.
You said that Leon Lott. You went to Leon Lott. To Leon Lott.
Numerous times did I contact him.
And you went to him numerous times. And based on the Supreme Court findings, the Supreme Court agreed that Stephanie was raped.
The Supreme Court not only agreed she was raped, they agreed that she was not fully competent.
I told you.
That she was incompetent.
So you gave this information to Leon Lott personally? Or at least he knew of it.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So he knew of it.
In fact.
So let me tell you about that case. That woman's name is Brenda Bryant. Her daughter Stephanie Bryant was in the care of an adult care facility in South Carolina called the Babcock Center. She escaped on one night. She has a mental capacity of a 7 to 10-year-old. She's over 50 years old at this point, but she has diminished capacity. Let's just say that. 4 men picked her up one night, and they gang raped her, and she got an STD, herpes. Sheriff Lott was told about it. Sheriff Lott did nothing about it. In fact, Sheriff Lott said Stephanie Bryant is a fully competent, mentally disabled woman. The reason why he did not investigate is because Stephanie Bryant was in the care of an adult care facility that was state funded, the Babcock Center. It's funded by DDSN, or the Department of Disabilities and Special Needs in South Carolina. So if they were to prosecute those men, that would have held the sheriff's department liable and also the state of South Carolina. And so when the sheriff did not prosecute, she sued in a Supreme Court case called Madison Bryant v. Babcock Center, and she won the case. Shortly after winning the case, they took out warrants for her damn arrest, and she ain't been home in over 10 years. Carlos Grant, yes. Wade Hampton, yep, that's him. And the school district is lying. They're saying, "Oh no, it's been investigated." No, it hasn't. The people who investigated Carlos Grant for being a freaking pedophile was the Richland County Sheriff's Department. Look it up. Google right now. My older brother who molested me is a high school principal in South Carolina, Wade Hampton. His name is Dr. Carlos Grant. I want you to Google right now who investigated Carlos Grant for being a child molester. You'll find that it's the Richland County Sheriff's Department, the same one who you just heard has been covering up rapes. They did it to 4 high school girls. They did it to Brenda Bryant's daughter, Stephanie Bryant. They did it to me. And the only reason why they haven't touched Sheriff Lott is because Sheriff Lott is very, very popular, and he has dirt on everybody. He's a goddamn sheriff. I told you, this is a very, very common thing. Law enforcement protects pedophiles. They protect rapists. Yeah, Carlos Grant, that's him. Why would I be lying? You just heard from Brenda Bryant. You're hearing from me. You just saw depositions. Are all of us lying? Really? Really? All of us are lying. See, this is why I chose this to move away. Live somewhere far away. Be on a farm. I just, I did a lot. I lost a lot. I tried to help Brenda Bryant. In fact, you don't believe me. I'm going to show you my personal Facebook page, and every video you're going to see on there is from Brenda Bryant, because I got a personal phone number. I tried everything to help that woman. I want y'all to see this, man. I tried everything in my power to help that woman. I didn't know what else to do. I tried everything in my power to help that woman. God damn, man. No, I just, I want y'all to understand there's a reason why I do what I do. I do what I do to protect women and children because I'm a survivor. No one holds in this rage for all these years for no reason. This isn't about views for me because I don't get enough. I don't give enough views. I've been through so many roller coasters, so much traumatic stuff, and I miss my mama. And I didn't even get to. I didn't even get to see her funeral, you know. I didn't forgive my mama because my mama walked in on it one time. And you know, in black families, some of them, not all of them, it's not something that we all do. No, it's not. It's not even common. It's just my case is just unique. She walked in on it and she said, just don't talk about it. She whooped Carlos' ass. Oh yeah, she did. But yeah. It took me a while to forgive my mama. In case y'all wondering where's all this content, you know, every now and then I make videos about how I forgive my mama. That's where it comes from. My mama did not protect me. And now that man's a high school principal. And the school district is protecting him. The cops are protecting him. All because I'm the same man who exposed that sheriff. I cost the state of South Carolina $18 million. The recording that you just heard from Brenda Bryant is the reason why. Ever since then, they've held a grudge against me. Family court, you name it. I have been through the ringer. This is why you don't have a lot of whistleblowers in law enforcement. I moved from South Carolina to Oregon. I feel like it's my fault. You know, if I had to fall a little bit harder, you know, maybe those little girls up had been. That's the part that just I hold a lot of guilt for. That's the part I just hold a lot of guilt for. I should have tried harder. I should have tried harder. Those are 4 little girls. They didn't deserve that. They, you know, what happened to me happened to me. That they, no. And Sheriff Lott's walking around. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trauma dumping. But you gotta understand the reason why I do this. You gotta understand the reason why I do this. This is not about just hatred of cops. It's about preventing people becoming like me. Broken people. People who can't recover. People who would rather spend outside with pigs, with literal pigs. I'm a hog farmer. I'm a chicken and hog farmer. I'd rather spend all day outside and be around people because I don't want to be hurt again. And I tried to fight for people. Yeah, I knew what it meant if I become a whistleblower. I knew what it meant. I knew what it meant. But there comes a time in your life where you gotta decide. There comes a time in your life where you gotta decide, what do you stand for, man? What do you stand for? What do you stand for? What do you stand for? Yeah, I had a good ass job. I had a house in South Carolina, 205 Old Brass Drive. That was my house. That was my house. My first home I bought with a VA loan, man. I was so proud of that home. That was my house, man. And I had to run away because they was coming for me. I got a warning from one of my friends who worked the sheriff's department. You gotta leave, bro. They found out that it was you. I've lost everything trying to pursue this stuff. Would I do it all over again? Fuck yeah. I used to hide in the closet with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shell behind my back, you know, because I thought it was going to protect me, but it never did. Not when Carlos came home. Not when he came home. You know, I thought turtle shells meant you'd be safe. But that's him, Dr. Carlos Grant. That's him. And this is why I went after Sheriff Lott. This is where the rage towards Sheriff Lott is coming from. This is where it's coming from. I tried to get everybody to listen. Those are 4 little black girls that sheriff's deputy, that Sheriff Lott covered for. 4 little black girls. You don't believe me? Here, I'll show you. I'll show you why I did it. Because when I heard it was 4 little black girls, I lost my shit. I want you to see it. You don't believe me? That it was 4 little black girls that I was covered, that I was fighting so damn hard for? There she is. There's one of them. There's one of them right there. This is why I do what I do. I'm tired of seeing this shit. This is Sheriff Lott. He did that. He did that. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I did it. I worked corrections. I had a good job. Real good job. But when I kept seeing this, cops in South Carolina being pedophiles, child molesters, I said, no! Because I was wondering, why did it happen to me? Why did it happen? Why? And I saw why. Sheriff Leon Lott and cops like him. He's the reason why. He's the reason why. I fought so hard, boy. Oh my God. I went after the state of South Carolina. Oh God, I rose hell. I rose hell. You are not going to do this to another freaking black child and not hear from me. Oh, I'm going to make your life a living hell. And I did for Sheriff Lott. Oh, I messed with them so bad. So bad. And I'm proud of it. Proud of it. Carlos is an alpha too. Yes, him. He is. He is. But it's not surprising. Unbelievable. I tried my best to tell people, and they're sitting there painting me as a freaking liar, man. So those girls from Spring Valley, they were lying when they said Sheriff Lott covered it up. That mother who has a daughter who got gang raped, she's lying too. And now I'm lying too. In fact, let me show you Carlos Grant. Let me show you that it was the Richland County Sheriff's Department who covered it up. So the person who cleared him of freaking allegations, the people who cleared him of allegations, I want you to see this, right? I want you to see why, how you know I'm correct, right? So this is the same sheriff, Richland County Sheriff, who supposedly investigated Carlos Grant, right? Same one, right? Same one. He protected his sheriff's deputy from preying on high school girls. You just heard from a mother whose daughter got gang raped and got a freaking STD, and he covered that up. And that's the same sheriff's department who investigated Carlos Grant. Wade Hampton High School principal cleared of allegations of inappropriate conduct. I want you to see, right? I want you to see, that's him. I want you to see who investigated the crime, right? I want you to see right? Who investigated the crime. I want you to see. The Richland County Sheriff's Department. The Richland County Sheriff's Department. Now, that is the same sheriff's department who's accused of a rape cover-up at the same damn time. He was in federal court at the time this investigation was going on. He was in federal court for a rape cover-up, and they believe my brother. And they believe my brother, despite the fact the same people you sent to investigate it, right, was in court for a rape cover-up. Are y'all seeing this shit? Do you believe me now? I told you. Carlos Grant is a pedophile. I told you. The same people who were in court for a rape cover-up involving their own sheriff's deputy was the one looking into it. Ain't that weird? You don't find it to be a conflict of interest? I told you. And when they found out that I was when the Richland County Sheriff's Department that I was the victim in that case, they botched the whole case intentionally. I told you. And if you call them now, they're just gonna freaking deny it. Don't listen to them. Take the evidence that I just showed you and follow that. Ask them, why in the hell is it that you had the Richland County Sheriff's Department look into this and not some other law enforcement agency? If the same sheriff's department that you called to go look into this is also accused of a rape cover-up and they lost $18 million from the state of South Carolina from settlements at the same time. This is happening at the same time. Right? I told y'all can't trust cops. You can't trust the schools. You can't trust nobody. Carlos Grant's a pedophile. I told you. Why would we all be lying? The same sheriff went to court and says, I didn't cover for my deputy preying on high school girls. And the judge said, yes, you did. He did it in that case. He did it with Brenda Bryant. You just heard it from her. In fact, some people who are new here didn't hear that. I want you to hear from this woman named Brenda Bryant, whose daughter got gang raped and got an STD. And Sheriff Lott covered it up. She told Sheriff Lott, and Sheriff Lott did nothing. I want you to see this. I want you to hear this again. I want you to see this because, again, when I put out receipts like this, people can't just gaslight me or deny it.
You said that Leon Lott, you went to Leon Lott. To Leon Lott.
Numerous times did I contact him.
And you went to him numerous times. And based on the Supreme Court findings, the Supreme Court agreed that Stephanie was raped.
The Supreme Court not only agreed she was raped, they agreed that she was not fully competent, that she was incompetent.
So you gave this information to Leon Lott personally? Or at least he knew of it.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So he knew of it.
In fact.
Any questions? Any questions? Why in the hell am I accusing Carlos Grant of the exact same thing, the exact same type of crime, and the Richland County Sheriff's Department is the one that actually investigated it? Now, you just heard it was Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott who covered up this other girl's rape, right? So that actually investigated it. Now, you just heard it was Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott who covered up this other girl's rape, right? So that was one case. This is a whole separate case here. That's a whole separate case. This guy here, Jameel Bradley, raped 4 high school girls. 4 of them. And the sheriff covered for him. Yeah. And that's the same sheriff's department who supposedly looked into Carlos Grant, my brother, who's the principal of Wade Hampton. The Richland County, my brother, who's the principal of Wade Hampton. The Richland County Sheriff's Department launched an investigation into the allegation that dated back more than 20 years at the time when Grant was an adolescent residing in Columbia. So the same sheriff's department that you just heard does rape cover-ups or gang rapes is the same one that looked into that freaking principal. Don't trust cops. I have to go recover, guys. I have to go and medicate. I love you all. Be safe. Please inquire about Carlos Grant and Sheriff Lott. They're scumbags.